Hey guys, Chris the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a chat about automotive battery chargers. Now, what's this got to do with recycling? I was going to use this for a job the other day. It came from an old shed I cleaned out. Well, it wasn't such an old shed, but it was secondhand. I didn't know much about it. I plugged it in, didn't work. Thought, uh-oh, we'll either have to repair it or scrap it. Turns out it's in perfect working order. So, as you've gathered by the title, this is a smart or intelligent battery charger, something that I've never had anything to do with. All my previous experience was with quite simple old battery chargers, which basically had a step-down transformer, a basic rectifier to turn the voltage into DC, usually around about 12 volts for charging automotive batteries, perhaps a fuse or an ammeter, and basically that's it. This one I plugged in, and I'll show you what it did. So I was going to use this thing for electrolysis to provide 12 volts through a solution for cleaning some things. Doesn't work. All I got was the power light, no charge lights. I grabbed the terminals, and on the old chargers that I was familiar with, you could basically create a bit of lightning by tapping them together. And here we've got no sparks at all, totally dead. If we put the voltmeter on it, we have 0 volts, absolutely nothing. I was thinking perhaps it was a bad connection on the clips, or maybe the thing's blown a fuse. All it says on the front is automatic. Now, like I've said, I haven't had anything to do with these smart battery chargers. I have been told that you can't use them for electrolysis because in their wisdom, they think that it's a direct short and they won't work. Now, my next step was to pull the cover off, thinking it may have just blown a fuse, something like that. I checked the continuity of the wires, everything was good there. Did a little bit of checking online, and it turns out that these things basically won't work unless they think the conditions are right. Now, intelligent, smart, or just dumb, or cause problems, let's investigate. So I've got a car battery here that is absolutely, totally dead. I borrowed it off my local mechanic, and he said, it's been sitting in a car for many, many years. It hasn't been run. He said it won't have an ounce of power in it. And I'm not sure on the date code. That might make it 2014. I did notice that there's also a 1214. So it's possibly about 8 years old. It looks fine. And I put my voltmeter on that to see if there was any power in here. And we had 0.12 of a volt. So the battery is dead flat. So then, to see if this battery charger was actually working after all, I hooked it up, positive to positive, negative to negative, as you would normally hook up a battery charger, and still nothing, and all the voltage we had at the terminals was at 0.12. So, most people, well, a lot of people that haven't had anything to do with these smart battery chargers would conclude that the charger is no good, or it's blown a fuse. It's not doing anything. We've got a flat battery, we've got it all hooked up, we have power on, nothing's happening. So, what I've discovered, and many of you may already know this, but I thought it was worthy of making a video, because I'm sure sometimes these battery chargers are either thrown into the e-waste or worse, thrown into landfill, because people think they don't work. Here's a trick I'm going to show you to get the thing to work and charge this battery. What the battery charger is actually doing, and these smart chargers, from a bit of reading, tells me that they will not charge unless they recognize that there's a battery on the end of the leads. So that's why you can't get a spark, because it thinks there's nothing on the end and it's protecting itself from short circuit. The problem with a dead flat battery is that there's not enough voltage in here to tell the charger that it's a battery. It's like saying, hey, I'm here, but you can't hear me. The trick to doing this, and there's a few videos I found on YouTube, but most of them were very short videos, and they didn't always explain it very well. And a few of them required you to hook up, piggyback another battery onto this one. I'm not going to get another battery out of a car, but we can do it with a simple little 9-volt battery. So what we're going to do is just hook up some little jumper leads and piggyback this little battery onto the main automotive battery, 12 volts. This is a 9-volt battery. there will be enough voltage then to go down through the wires to the charger to tell the charger that yes indeed there is a battery right next to it, please charge me. So we'll hook that up now and show you what happens. So you can see quite simply what I've done here. I've just got the 9-volt battery with the negative lead going to the negative terminal of the car battery. The positive lead is about to go to the positive terminal of the car battery. The jumper lead, or the leads from the charger, are connected. The charger is still on but doesn't think there's anything there. The moment we touch our 9-volt there, you watch the light on the charger. Instantly green. Take that one off. That's all we need to do. All that did was just tell the charger that the threshold of the battery, well, that there is a battery. The thing is, they're set to read a threshold of a certain voltage. When a car battery is dead flat, it doesn't reach the threshold. We don't need a lot of current to do the job. You don't need another car battery. A simple little 9-volt battery will do it. You'd probably even get away with a lower battery, maybe a couple of 1.5s together. Now that it's recognized that there's a battery there, it's happily charging away. These smart chargers do have their place. This will now charge at a fairly high rate to boost the voltage in the battery, to charge it up. As the battery charges and gets close to its full potential, the smart charger will recognize that and it will back off and just give it a trickle charge to save overheating and overcharging the battery. The last thing you want to do is get the thing super hot and, just put too many amps into it when it's not required. And I even believe from a bit of reading that these smart chargers are excellent to have on over the cold months when you want your battery to be in good condition, and actually leave it connected. And it will drop right down to, it'll go to a trickle charge, and then it'll go to what they call a float charge, which essentially doesn't charge, but it just maintains the battery at full power, which is by far better for the battery. You won't build up sulfates inside, and it will extend the life of the battery. So the smart chargers have their place, but you need to know how to trick them if your car battery is super dead. And there you go. It wasn't hard to do after all. I'm glad I didn't throw that out. Not that I would have. I probably would have scrapped it and got the transformer out of it. But as it turns out, it's a perfectly good 12-volt car battery charger. This will charge up now. We don't need this anymore. That was only really just to kickstart it. So there we go. Hope you found that interesting. Okay, before we go, I've just come out from having dinner. The battery has been on charge for about an hour and a half. Let's see what voltage is being pumped into it. So we've got our meter here. We'll put our lead on this side. The negative's already connected. And it's registering a bit over 13 volts, which is probably a pretty healthy charge rate. It's probably pumping in a fair few amps still. It's a little bit warm, but I don't know the condition of the battery, and it may not come up any good too because it's so old. Let's take the positive lead off there to stop it charging. Our charge has gone back to a resting state. Let's see what power the voltage now has in it. And it's actually up to 12 volts, a bit over 12 volts. But of course you can't gauge how charged it is from that, because the moment we put a load on it, it might break down. It may have a slightly crooked cell or something as well. But now that we have power in the battery, we should be able to hook it straight back up again, and there'll be enough power to make the charger click in again. There we go, straight back on charge. And I'm not going to leave it on until it's fully charged. As I said, I borrowed this battery from a local mechanic. I'll drop it back to him tomorrow, but it certainly proves and shows you a neat little trick how we can get those smart chargers to actually be smart. So there we go, guys. Just a quick video this time. Something I've just recently stumbled across and taught myself a bit more about. It was a bit of a gap in my knowledge because I've never experienced these smart chargers. So at this stage, I still think I'm a fraction smarter than he is, but at least we've made friends. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.